It's according to my watch, 12:02, calling the meeting to order for the Boise DIFAC. Do I have any motions to approve the minutes from the last time? Oh, actually, attendance.
Corey?
Here.
Ellis?
President.
Bellows?
Here.
Hart? Malone?
Here.
Easy. Yes.
Okay. Now we can take it away. Okay. New business, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I will move to approve the minutes of the October 8th meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And then abstain since I missed it.
Okay. Abstention.
I was late and there was one thing.
Okay. It still passes.
Sorry. Ta-da! I'm a little late.
Standing room only, Sarah, sorry. Standing room only.
I know, right? You gotta stand in that.
So, we have the inflationary revenue adjustment for Charles F. Divot Sports Complex on the agenda. Would somebody like to talk to us about that?
Yes. Committee members, my name is Trevor Kessler. I'm Senior Planner with the Parks Department. This is in regards to the McDevitt Sports Complex. So in connection with the FY25 budget development process, $16,467 of donation funding was added to the McDevitt project. As you may remember, there's approximately 7 acres of the McDevitt Sports Complex, which was completely undeveloped. If you look on the screen, you can see a nice drone view of the section of the park that was undeveloped. It's currently under construction. In July of 25, the budget was increased by $75,000 to allow for a fenced dog park feature, which was not originally included, but based on the community's input, it was a strongly wanted amenity for the park, in addition to the proposed improvements. So the increase was funded by $40,000 of additional impact fees and $35,000 of the Boise City Council strategic planning contingency. The reason for this is based on the conditions of approval through the Planning and Development Services Office, which is required for all projects to go through. Any park project would need to be going through the Planning and Development Services permitting process. Agency comments returned. One of them was a street light requirement from the Public Works Department, which was not expected until we went for permitting. Additionally, you'll notice along Eagle Road, and then just kind of, I would say northwest, you'll see that sidewalk connection there. This is a separate pathway that was identified in the city's master pathways plan that was kind of unforeseen as well, that during the Planning and Development Services permitting process, it was identified as another specific condition of approval to build out this park. So those were some unforeseen specific conditions of approval for permitting for these improvements to the park. So as we discussed in the July increase, it was requested the annual inflationary impact fee increase approved since 2022. I have studied could support an increase of up to $341,198 without impacting other programmed regional park projects. And the FY26 inflationary adjustment was a 1.6% increase this amount to $365,857. So staff is requesting the Development Impact Fee Committee, Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee recommend this $200,000 increase, which would bring the total project cost to $1,491,467, of which impact fees would support $1,440,000. This is just identifying the pathway plan that's going along the road there. This is the plan. Just reviewing the inflationary budget adjustments, I can't talk today. And then the inflationary impact fee adjustment increase over the past 4 years, which was $365,857. And then with the $200,000 request, that's the 1.440 that we requested. So staff would request the DIFAC committee approve this increase to accommodate for the additional amenities that are site-specific conditions of approval for the sports complex. With that, let's have some discussion.
So do I understand this correctly that you were under inflation? So the project scope or the project costs have increased less than what inflation would indicate.
Correct.
Cool. Job. Right?
If we've done a better job of identifying some site-specific conditions, the planning and development services was gonna hit us with, we probably would have known about these requirements prior to going out for permitting with PDS, and would have been able to include these within our project plans. We don't know, but sometimes we just get surprised. So that is requirements.
Just a quick question. It's coming from regional parks?
Yes.
Okay, so the 200,000 too is not. Okay.
What's the anticipated completion?
Is that it?
The estimated completion of the park, is it all gonna be done this
Well,
year?
it's under construction now. We anticipate these improvements to be complete by this summer.
Members of the committee, just to add a little context here.
This room just absorbs sound, like you can't, I mean, like,
I will speak louder, thank you.
yeah, I think it's everybody, because I don't know where the sound goes, but it goes up there and that.
Maybe, hopefully the microphones catch it. I think this project is a good example of a project that started in the middle of some changes that were happening citywide, specifically related to the modern zoning code. So as we, initiate projects and our citywide team learns about what the ramifications of policy change look like, we learn how to plan better in the future. And so I think this 200,000 is really, we'll be able to scope these expectations in future projects. So hopefully we won't have these budget change requests associated with kind of our own policy needs. But I appreciate you, being grateful that it's less than the inflationary adjustment. And I'm glad that we have the opportunity and the funding to do it. Completing these elements is part of our commitment to our permitting team. So we can't open the park up to the public without doing these. So it's vital that we continue to move forward so that we can stay on track with keeping the project completion date this summer.
So just for my education, I guess, how does that process work typically? Or maybe like, how is it gonna work going forward?
Generally speaking, we take, our 30, 60, 90 through design process through a large and inclusive feedback discussion with other city departments, including planning, including public works, including our accessibility manager through the mayor's office and our own maintenance team. And when we go through permit requirements, we ask for feedback from all of the departments. Unfortunately, in this particular case, we got feedback late in our design process, which then we had to make a decision. Do we halt initiating the project due to these conditions, or can we negotiate around building these conditions and the completion of these conditions into the project? And so that's kind of where we landed to keep the project moving forward, because our goal is always to keep incremental progress, so.
Yeah.
So in the future, we'll hopefully get comments back in a timely manner. We probably will do a little bit better job of reaching out proactively to these departments to make sure they're participating at a time when it makes sense for us in our process.
The top of the funnel, not the bottom.
Yeah.
If I may, Public
Yeah.
Works was not typically included in the 30, 60, 90 internal review, which they are now, because we need to know if streetlights are gonna be a random requirement that we would need to include. And if I could back up on the slide and just have you look, you'll see that there is an existing sidewalk along Eagle Road that's attached. So you never want to presume or assume that, the existing infrastructure is adequate. Because the master pathways plan called for a pathway along Eagle Road. So the assumption is if there's a sidewalk there, it's covered.
Right.
However, city policy is now detached sidewalks. And then the master pathways plan, kind of overlapping that area, required for something like a pathway versus just a general sidewalk, which is typically 6 feet wide. So we're gonna have a pathway next to a sidewalk. Now that's gonna create a greater comfort level for anybody that's traveling Eagle Road because you're off the street as well. So just kind of that forethought about detached sidewalks, and if there's an existing sidewalk.
What does a detached sidewalk mean?
Like if you have like the roadway at a back of curb.
grassy
and
area
maybe
in
a 5,
between or
yeah,
something.
greenway. So versus an attached, which is right there next to the curb.
Yeah.
Not very comfortable with pedestrians. So based on that change in city policy, we're just gonna kind of check in with our planning and development folks early in the process to see if there's, some additional pathway requirements in an area where there's already existing sidewalk, just to make sure that we can catch that. Yeah, that's kind of where that came from. So.
Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, could we get a motion on this?
I move that we approve the $200,000 increase for the additional conditional things that need to be added to the
Sports complex.
Oh, I could just say it just like that, right? Recommend, let's see, move to
Trying to make
recommend
this
approval, I kinda got it. Move to recommend approval of a $200,000 inflationary impact fee revenue adjustment for Charles F. McDevitt Sports Complex.
Do we hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Would you like to state the motion, too?
Do you need me to say it again? Okay.
All in favor?
I,
Any opposed? And it passes. Okay.
Do we have a sense of when this will go on council agenda
Next one.
next month?
Yes. It will be in March.
Okay, we have, there's no other issues online. Yes,
Make a motion to adjourn?
is that, I would like, yeah, would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
I.
No opposed, great, we're done.